Hey guys, welcome to season 1 of the Money Freedom Movement podcast. This is a show for people who are shamelessly pursuing financial freedom. My name is Wren, and I'm a financial coach based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Now you might be wondering, what is a financial coach exactly? So you could think of me as a personal trainer for your personal finances. In a coaching session, we take a deep dive into your financial picture. I hear you out on your concerns and learn how you got to be where you are today. I'll show you what's going well, where you've done a good job, and of course, I'll show you where there are opportunities to move you into a better position, and we'll develop a game plan together on how to get you there. Some clients come to me with a specific goal in mind, such as wanting to purchase a home or wanting to get out from under their student loan debt. Some clients don't have a specific concern when they come to coaching. They just have this general sense that they could be doing better with their money. Some people are in exciting positions financially and come to me to learn about wealth building strategies in order to accelerate where they're trying to go. So I work with folks all over the spectrum of financial health, not just with people who want to pay off debt, although admittedly that is a huge portion of my practice. So if you want a coach on your team to take you to the next level of financial freedom, visit themoneyfreedommovement.com and schedule a free coaching session with me. I'd love to connect with you. Now, on to today's show. Hey guys, welcome to the first full-length episode of the Money Freedom Movement podcast. I'm so glad you've decided to join me today. Some weeks on the show, I'll have guests from various fields, directly and indirectly related to financial well-being. Some weeks, it'll be just me behind the mic, sharing what's on my mind. This week is one of those weeks. So today I want to address the challenges in overcoming shame around your financial position. I want to tackle that here in the beginning of the season because number one, it's a subject that's come up over and over again in my private financial coaching sessions. And I know if the folks I'm working with are wrestling with shame, there's other people out there who are going to be dealing with this too. And as I say in the beginning, this show is for people who are shamelessly pursuing financial freedom. So the emotional baggage of shame has to be addressed in order to move forward. Now, I also know that there will be plenty of you out there who aren't carrying around shame around your financial position, and that's great. I encourage you to keep listening so you can be there for a friend, a coworker, or a family member in their time of need down the line. Now, before we go much farther, let's define our terms here. What is shame? Well, the dictionary definition of shame is a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. Practically speaking, it's that little voice in our heads that tells us, you're no good at this. You're a foolish person. See, everyone else around you, they've figured it out. Why haven't you? You better not let them find out what's really going on in your life. They'd have every right to reject you then. Shame has its roots in all kinds of past experiences. Most of us can recall a few teachers, coaches, or school principals who used public humiliation as a form of control. Maybe shaming was a form of discipline exercised in your home, where you eventually learned to hide bad report cards or didn't want your parents to show up for your athletic events because you knew if you didn't perform to their expectations, you'd hear how bad of an athlete you were or how poor of a student you were. Shaming, unfortunately, is ingrained in the human condition. Read the comments of literally any post, tweet, or video from someone with a level of public recognition, and you'll find the shamers down in the weeds making their opinions known. So why do people feel shame around their finances specifically? The general consensus is this feeling that I could have done better with the resources and opportunities I was given that were given to me, and I hate where I stand today because of those past behaviors. For example, maybe, and a lot of people are in this boat, maybe you weren't taught how to handle money wisely growing up, and you've just been doing the best you can with the resources you have. But you're looking up towards the end of your working years, or what you had hoped to be your working years, the end of your working years, realizing you have nothing saved towards retirement, and you hate that you're in this place. Maybe life has dealt you a tough hand through injury, illness, job loss, divorce, loss of a loved one that you weren't prepared to handle, and you wish you could go back to make sure you had the right protections in place. Maybe you've had great, rare opportunities and have simply blown them. Maybe you came from parents of affluence who sent you off into the world with a great head start, and now you feel 10 steps behind because you partied away your head start in life. Maybe you burned through an inheritance or a gift. Maybe you have or once had a great income, and now you look up and you don't know where all that money went. Did you know that 60% of NBA players go bankrupt within 5 years of leaving the sport? Now, these are guys who are making 7 and 8 figure incomes in their 20s. And by the time they're in their 30s and 40s, they're filing for bankruptcy, over half of them. Imagine the shame these guys must feel around wasting an opportunity like that. So again, when I'm working with my coaching clients, a lot of what I hear is just this general consensus that I could have done better with the resources I was given, and I hate where I stand today because of those past behaviors. So next, let's talk about how does shame drive us to behave? Well, first and foremost, not surprisingly, we hide when we're ashamed of something, which makes it impossible to get the help we need. I feel like there's a cultural feedback loop of shame around the area of personal finances and other areas. But specifically in this topic, we don't talk about money, so we don't get the help we need to make the improvements we need to make. So we're ashamed of where we end up. So we don't talk about it. So we don't get the help we need. So we're ashamed of where we end up. So we don't talk about it. You get the picture. Not only do we hide our areas of shame, we actually pretend like everything is okay and do everything in our power to look like we're living a normal American lifestyle. We overbuy in homes and cars and clothes and vacations and make other lifestyle choices that look good but don't improve the real fundamental vital signs in our financial well-being. Most tragically, shame would have us to believe the lie that we're unworthy of a better position in life. Why would you put in the energy to work on yourself when you fundamentally believe you deserve to continue to suffer in the position you're in? If you've ever had thoughts like, well, I'm in this deep, so I might as well keep it moving because I'll never get out of this mess, shame and hopelessness might be baggage you're harboring. So let's talk about how to process through and overcome these feelings so that we can move forward. Now, this is by no means comprehensive. This is a huge subject, but just some ideas to share with you all for today. First of all, realize that numbing your shame by ignoring the issue at hand or engaging in other destructive behaviors also numbs the hope that you need to dig yourself out. And without hope for improvement, we're hardwired to continue down the path we're already on instead of putting in the energy to turn things around. So instead of numbing by shopping or drinking or just ignoring the issue, what do we do with this baggage? Well, first of all, if you're a person of faith like myself, bring your concerns to your Creator and trust that God loves you and cares for you in your imperfections. Believe that you have nothing to hide from Him. And in fact, He's a good Father who wants you to bring your mistakes to Him. Next, and this might sound cliche, but it's so important. Accept that everyone around you is imperfect and has majorly messed up in their own ways, in their own lives. Now, realizing this will help you understand that you are not the first, you are not the only, and you are not the worst. Did you know that over half of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings? These are people with low incomes, high incomes, average incomes. So you come to me and you tell me you feel bad because you haven't saved any money? Well, welcome to the general population. About half of the people you will encounter today are in the same position as you. So what are you ashamed of? Now, is that something you should want to improve? Of course. But carrying around the emotional baggage of where you are today won't help you move forward. Again, I go back to the fact that 60% of NBA players are filing for bankruptcy within 5 years of leaving the sport. You are not the first, you are not the only, and you are not the worst, no matter where you find yourself today. Next, let's celebrate the fact that you're taking steps towards improvement. If you're listening to this show, I assume you have some level of desire and readiness to take your financial health to the next level. That's noteworthy. Keep that same energy and take action on that. You could continue down the path you are on, but you're ready to be intentional about your financial freedom. And that's a step millions of people will fail to ever take in their lifetime. So, I would also be remiss if I failed to say, please seek professional help. Sit down with a therapist or counselor to help you work through your particular story if that's something you feel that you need. My final point, one of the most helpful public figures that I've found in the areas of shame and vulnerability is Dr. Brene Brown. She's a research professor from the University of Houston who gave a wildly influential TED Talk back in 2011 about the power of vulnerability. If you have not seen this talk, please stop what you're doing and go look it up. It will be one of the most empowering 20 minutes you've ever spent on the internet. And I'll be sure to link it in the show notes so you can find it quickly. Now, in preparing for this specific episode, I read one of her books called Daring Greatly. One of the most helpful points she made in that book was as follows: refuse to accept the critiques of others who are not in the arena with you. Now, Dr. Brown refers to the image of an arena often because of a quote from Theodore Roosevelt that transformed her personal and professional life. I'll read the full quote for you in a few, but to summarize, when you're in the arena of your life, fighting your fight, there will always be spectators to your battle. Some of them will be spectators who are our most trusted friends and family, and they'll cheer you on no matter how hard you fall or how many punches you take in the arena or no matter how bad it's looking. And then some of the spectators will buy first row tickets to your life just to be able to say, "I told you so," after every punch you take. They will not help. They will criticize your efforts in the area of finances specifically. They'll criticize your efforts to budget or save or invest. They'll mock you when you make mistakes, and they'll be waiting for you to stumble when you're out there fighting your fight, learning the game and getting stronger with each round. These are the spectators whose opinions should not be taken to heart in your journey to financial freedom or whatever challenge you're tackling. If someone is not in the arena with you, you have an obligation to yourself to let their criticisms and skepticism have no power over you. That's the new rule. Now for the full quote, in the words of the 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt, he said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, and who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Powerful words. So, that's our show for today. A few announcements, and I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love nothing more, because it was so helpful to me. I'd love nothing more than to give away my personal copy of Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly. If you feel like it could help you on your journey to financial freedom, simply shoot me a message and I'll pick someone out of the first batch of responses I get, and I'll announce that winner on next week's show. My handle, if you want to connect and enter to win this free book, my handle on Instagram or LinkedIn is at Kim Wren, Wren 2009, or you can shoot me an email. That address is kim@themoneyfreedommovement.com. Visit themoneyfreedommovement.com for more information on private financial coaching and to subscribe to the email list. And I have one more announcement. Stick around. I promised to pick one winner for a year of free coaching out of the folks who responded to my Instagram surveys a few weeks ago. So I didn't forget. I took everyone who responded and plugged your Instagram handles into a name picker app. And the winner is Ella by Starlight. Ella and I actually had a really good extended conversation over DM in response to one of the questions I posted. So I'm really excited to be able to connect with her even farther. So Ella by Starlight, I'll be reaching out to you soon to get that set up. Thanks to everyone who responded. Your feedback is extremely important to me because I'm desperate to create something every week that's meaningful to you all. So please give me your thoughts, give me your feedback, stay connected, and stay plugged in. With that said, look out for another episode on Friday. I'm going to be writing and recording a short weekly episode that I'll call Payday Proverbs. Just quick, informative, and actionable ideas for you to execute on your dreams of financial freedom with that Friday paycheck. So subscribe to the show wherever you're getting your podcast so that comes directly to you on Friday. All right. This has been fun, you guys. Until next time, be relentless in the pursuit of your freedom. Take care, y'all.